on the same line as Steph. So this is good afternoon in Portuguese. Okay, so I have a long tally for you today, the ones who have asked me for. I brought it for you. This morning, the General Assembly elected 18 new members to the Human Rights Council. Benin, Cameroon, Eritrea, Republic of the Gambia, and Somalia were elected in the African group. India, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates will have a seat each in the group of Asia-Pacific states. Lithuania and Montenegro secured the 2 seats in the group of Eastern European states. Argentina, Honduras, and Paraguay will be the new representatives of the group of Latin America and Caribbean countries at the Human Rights Council in Geneva. The Western European and other groups will have Finland, Luxembourg, and the USA, which were elected earlier today. The new members of the Human Rights Council will start the 3-year mandate on 1st January 2022. Now we have the tally. Benin, 189 votes. Gambia, 186. Cameroon, 179. Somalia, 171. Eritrea, 144. India, 184. Kazakhstan, 184. Malaysia, 183. Qatar, 182. United Arab Emirates, 180. Fiji, 1. Maldives, 1. Lithuania, 178. Montenegro, 178. Estonia, 1. Slovakia, 1. Now, the group of Latin American and Caribbean states. Paraguay, 185. Argentina, 175. Honduras, 172. Chile, 1. Costa Rica, 1. Dominica, 1. Ecuador, 1. The Group E, Western European and other states. Finland, 180. Luxembourg, 180. USA, 168. Canada, 1. Israel, 1. Italy, 1. So I think you have all. If you need anything, I'll let you know afterwards. This morning, member states had a minute of silence today as they paid tribute to the president of the 29th session of the General Assembly and former president of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Abdelaziz Bouteflika, who died last month. The current PGA, Abdullah Shahid, conveyed his deepest condolences to the government and people of Algeria, as well as to the family of the departed leader. Mr. Shahid said that the former Algerian president was a seasoned diplomat and a skilled, behind-the-scenes negotiator. As one of the youngest persons ever elected president of the GA in 1974, he was committed to upholding the values of multilateralism and the principles of the UN Charter. And finally, the PGA's agenda. Today, he presided over the Human Rights Council election. As you know, this afternoon, the PGA will meet the permanent representative of Portugal at his office, His Excellency Mr. Francisco Duarte Lopes. Mr. Shahid will have a bilateral meeting with the L69 countries and also later the ambassadors of the G4 group on Security Council reform. And this evening, he will attend a dinner hosted by the PR of Japan, His Excellency Mr. Ishikani Kimihiro. This is all for us. Do you have anything else? Okay, I have Edie, and afterwards I have Dulcie. Edie, go ahead.
Thank you, Monica. The Human Rights Council election was totally uncontested. Does the President of the General Assembly believe that these elections should be contested as part of his belief in fostering greater openness, democracy, transparency?
You are absolutely right on the second part of your question, Edie. Rights for all is one of the rays of hope, one of the 5 rays of hope of President Abdullah Shahid. And here he means rights for all. It should be respected. When it comes to his opinion on if the elections should be contested or not, or more candidates or not, there he doesn't have any any responsibility or any role. As you know, the PGA is a facilitator, he's a convener, and he doesn't have any influence over elections. However, candidates are, as you know, decided by groups, by regional groups, and if the regional groups or member states so decide, there will be more candidates in the future. But for the time being, for this election today, you're right, it was what we call a clean slate, and it was decided by the General Assembly. But thank you. Dulcie, and I have Ray, right, in the back. Dulcie, go ahead.
Yeah, the GA Credentials Committee has met. When did they next meet?
Okay, thank you for your question, because this has been actually a point of interest for several of our colleagues here. The committee is expected to meet in November. The Credentials Committee, they usually report their results or their recommendations, I would say, by December. But so far, we don't have a date for the committee to meet. This is a decision that will be made by the members of the committee, the Credentials Committee. As you know, there are 9, and Sweden is the chair. So whenever they decide to meet, I will update you on that. Thank
Okay, can you confirm that South Africa, which had been originally recommended as a member, dropped out and Namibia took its place?
I have the 9 members here for you. They are USA, China, Russia, Bhutan, Bahamas, Chile, Namibia, Sierra Leone, and Sweden, the chair. And this announcement was made on the 14th of September, the same day that the PGA took office. Yes. Ray, go ahead.
Hi, Monica. Many countries today, they get just one vote, like Italy, like Dominican Republic. Although officially they were not candidates, we didn't get them on the list you sent us. How come they get one vote? I mean, it's confusing a little bit.
This happened before, Ray. It's not the first time that happens. The ones that are here longer will know it happens in elections. They were not running, but the respective member states got a vote. Yes. Yes, Estefano, go ahead. I'll get back to you.
Thank you, Thank you, Monica.
Sure.
I think Italy was a candidate and then dropped to give it to the space to the United States. But my question is, does the president of the General Assembly, does he think that when a country, let's say Eritrea, is elected on this council, does he think that that discredited the council, or actually putting light on that country helps maybe that country to improve its, human rights policy? Or what does he think about this? Because of course, outside of this building, when you hear countries like Eritrea and other examples that they get elected, you feel like that this council is a joke or something.
Okay, the president respects the decision that the General Assembly made, and the General Assembly elected 18 new members for the Human Rights Council, and that is where he stands. He respects this decision. It is the most democratic body in this organization, and they made a decision today on these 18 names. But I got your question. Thank you. Edie, I go back to you, and afterwards I would ask you, my colleagues on the screen, to please speak up, because I don't have my phone either with you on it, okay? Go ahead, Edie.
I would just like to put on the record that the Swedish mission says they have not been elected chair of the Credentials Committee. That can only happen when they meet. And they have indicated that it's the president of the General Assembly who decides the date of the meeting, not them.
Okay, this is a question that you need to check with the mission in question. The information that we have is that we have the 9 members, and if you go for the tape or for the recording of the 14th of September, you'll see all these names there. But thank you, I appreciate your comment. Okay, on the screen, anyone else? No? I see. Okay. So in this case, I would say thank you so much for staying till this late. I see you tomorrow. Thank you.